Capitalism does it not work for everybody? Isn't capitalism?
No, how?
It works for everybody.
If I am born and I am disabled, therefore I am physically unable to work 40 hours a week, and I live in a place like Vancouver, how does capitalism help me? I am a mother. I've been married to my husband for 40 years. My husband is abusive. I, at the age of 65, choose to get divorced from him. My pension is through my husband and his job. My insurance is through my husband and his job. When I divorce him, what do? Do I start working at the age of 65? I've been a stay-at-home mother raising our 4 children for the last 40 years of my life. How does capitalism help me?
Well, I'm trying to remember Elon Musk's argument was make things. So it was like capitalism works because if you make things, people buy things, and then you make capital because the basis of
it works if you already have capital. I don't have capital. I'm 65 years old. I'm leaving my husband. I don't have capital.
So the issue is you do need capital. So it's how do we get people to get capital?
Well, you have to. People don't the same, but you have to have capital first. And then you have to have a way to grow that capital. Not everyone can grow capital. We all cannot be Elon Musk. That's not how capitalism works. There has to be people who are oppressed for the people who are rich. And I don't think that makes sense. But I don't see why we all kind of live these luxurious, egalitarian lifestyles. Have you ever heard of fully automated luxury communism? Oh, it's a great word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fully automated luxury communism.
That sounds something like in Saudi Arabia, but yeah. Please do not come for me, Mr. His name.
MBS? Yeah, don't come for us.
Let's be best friends. I'm good.
Okay, yes. Fully automated. It was a book that was written. The book is really dense. Anyway, but the idea is that in a post-scarce society where luxury goods are, at a lower value because they're no longer scarce, we can all live luxurious sort of egalitarian lifestyles, right? So for example, like my iPhone, I spent $1,000 in it. Apple probably only spent $100 making it. If iPhones were only sold for $100, we could all have iPhones. What is seen as a luxury good. Right? We could choose to do that, but we don't because we live in a time of false scarcity. There is abundant resources for everyone, but we're creating a false sense of scarcity as a way to just make it easier for other people to just hoard all those additional resources. Because it's not accumulation, it's hoarding. I have no issue with saving or buying your little one house and having your little one investment or, buying a boat. Like, I love first class. I love this. We love it too. But like, there's a difference between accumulating wealth and hoarding wealth.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So you call it hoarding, but
Elon Musk cannot spend all that money in his lifetime. He can't spend it. His children can't spend it. His great-grandchildren cannot spend that money in their lifetimes. That is hoarding.
But his argument is he doesn't have it, though. Because his valuation comes from shares, which is just something that's not real. It's not tangible.
Yeah, but I also don't think the stock market really means anything. It's just fake numbers.
Yeah, that's what his argument is it's just fake numbers. I do not have this money that you speak
Exactly, but our entire world is dependent on these fake numbers.
True.
That's how it runs, right? If I don't have enough fake numbers, I can't buy a house. He has enough fake numbers, so he can buy a house. The bank will give him that loan to buy the house because he has enough fake numbers. I don't have enough fake numbers. Okay. So as much as maybe it's not liquid, it's still like you still have all of this privilege because you have all of these fake numbers that I don't have, and I have no way of gaining.
Interesting. Well, if you do watch the podcast, I did a breakdown of everything she's saying of these numbers and how fake they are, but they're not. Okay, fine. It reminds me of a scene in Batman Dark Knight Rises where Bane goes to the stock exchange.
Yeah.
And then the guy is like, why are you here to rob us? There's no money here. And then his response is, what are you all doing here then?
It's a stock exchange. There's no money you could steal.
Really? And why are you people here?
You're saying, okay, fine, but still, what can Elon do? Give everybody a share of Tesla and be like...
But then will the stock of Tesla go down because of that?
Well, because there's no money put in, right?
Well, if he just said everyone, say Elon Musk has, 1 million Tesla stocks, whatever, and he gave one of those stocks to 1 million people, I feel like the stock price would go down. Wouldn't it go down? I feel like that would happen.
It would, because,
Exactly, because they don't want that. They don't want that. They want someone to hoard all of these stocks, and the second they're not hoarding it, the stock price goes down. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, what is this? Have you watched the show Industry on HBO? Okay, no, it's this HBO show. It's on season 2. It's about, Wall Street stock market. It's about this, investment bank in London.
Yeah.
Anyway, I binged all of season 1 a couple days ago, and just watching that made me realize that like none of this means anything. This is all just bullshit. You're all here just pretending and playing this game about numbers.
Yeah.
And like, what is going on? I don't understand.
Well, I think with stocks, it's just whatever the market is willing to pay. So if I say I start a company, you and I start a company, and then they'll evaluate it like with accountants and say, let's say for this podcast, right? And then they'll say you have $10,000 worth of equipment. And then what then starts to happen is how much would someone pay for that same podcast? Someone will say, I'll pay 15,000. So now,
who are they asking? I wouldn't
like
pay 15,000.
they're asking anybody randomly in the street, like, do you want to buy?
But they're not coming to me and asking how much would you pay for a Facebook stock. I would pay maybe 10 cents.
They do.
They're not asking me.
Remember when they do what do you call it? The IPO.
Mm-hmm.
They will set it out and say Facebook is going public. The public, how much will you pay? And then the public, one person will be like, I'll pay $1. Someone will come and say, I'll pay $100. And then that's where the valuation goes from.
No, because most people, how much is a Facebook stock? I'm sure a Facebook stock is like $1,000.
Probably.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Most people in the world are now paying $1,000 for a stock. But there's 400 people who say they'll pay $1,000 for a stock, and their first stock is $1,000. They're not asking all of us.
Yeah, because then it
Because
goes
they
back
just
to
want,
it goes back to capitalism.
Exactly. How do we just
US.
inflate this price so us rich people can just keep playing this game of stocks all the time? Because it seems
Yeah.
like it's a good time. It seems like it's a lot of fun, but it's like we take it too seriously and it's too important to our society. But I think it's just men just like
No, but that's what